Hello friends, welcome to Affairs Cloud Learn to Lead. This is Ashu and today we will discuss very important current affairs of 8th and 9th of November 2020. You can see there are two best news of the day, but today we will discuss 7 to 8 very important news and two very most important questions. But before proceeding, I want to discuss about Affairs Cloud subscription that you can buy our Affairs Cloud subscription with two methods. You can directly visit our website, that is affairscloud/current affairs, or you can directly go to the video's description box. In the description box there is a link of subscription. So what you will get in the subscription? You will get the daily current affair PDF, you will get the weekly PDF, you will get the weekly test, that is very important, so that you can recalculate the news, or you can reconfigure the news and retain the news for long time. And monthly PDF. In the monthly PDF section you will get the 5 PDF. One is related to the daily news and it is converted into the monthly section. Second is related to the question and answer PDF, that all the current affairs will be converted into the question and answer format, so that you can revise and retain the question and answers very easily. Next, third is the pocket PDF. As the name suggests, it is very useful to revise the current affair very quickly. Fourth is the banking, finance and the economy PDF. It is very useful who are preparing for the banking exams or who are banking aspirants. And fifth, it means it is not last but the least, that is the question and answer PDF. It is very important because it is the top 100 current affairs of the month. This is the last PDF but not the least, guys. So this subscription you can buy at very nominal cost, and on this nominal cost we are providing you 10% extra discount. If you use this code, that is #10, then you will get the 10% extra discount on that minimal cost. Now let's start today's current affair, that is 8th and 9th of November 2020. Here is our first news. India's first solar-based integrated multi-village water supply project inaugurated in which state? Mark under the very important section, guys. And as the name suggested that it is the multi-village water supply project, it means the main focus to provide the drinking water needs to the villages of the state, or you can say in the district. And this state is, guys, Arunachal Pradesh. Yes, this time the state is the northeastern state and it is the Arunachal Pradesh. Arunachal Pradesh is very famous, guys, because in the Arunachal Pradesh there is a biosphere reserve out of 18 biosphere reserve, because in India total 18 biosphere reserves are there, and out of 18 there is a one biosphere reserve in Arunachal Pradesh, that is Debang Biosphere Reserve. You have to remember this, Debang Biosphere Reserve. Debang is the name of Brahmaputra and Debang is a tributary of Brahmaputra. So remember, Debang Biosphere Reserve, Arunachal Pradesh. And Brahmaputra also enters in India from China at the Arunachal Pradesh area. So remember this also. So guys, Arunachal Pradesh, and the main focus to provide drinking water needs for 39 villages. 39 villages. And it is a solar based lift water supply project. It means it is very useful and it is environment friendly. So you can see in the picture that India's first solar based water supply project launched in Arunachal Pradesh. And guys, who is this person? This is the Gajendra Singh Shekhawat ji. He is currently the Union Minister of the Jal Shakti Department. Remember, who is the Minister of Jal Shakti? That is Gajendra Singh Shekhawat ji. You can see here that Gajendra Singh Shekhawat, Union Minister of Jal Shakti, basically launched this type of the multi-village water supply project, and it is the solar based and it is the India's first. That's why I considered this news in the very important section. And he inaugurated this project in the district of the Debang Valley. That's why it is very important that Debang Biosphere Reserve. And remember, Debang is a tributary of the Brahmaputra. This project will provide drinking water to the 39 villages. Not important, examiner will not ask this type of the thing, but if you remember this thing, it means you can remember the question. The solar based lift water supply project was commissioned at 28.50 crore rupees. It means the total expenditure will be done by the state government, that is the 28.50 crore, and the center government also, and maximum amount will be generated through the center government. And who is the Chief Minister of Arunachal Pradesh, guys? Chief Minister is the Pema Khandu. Remember, Pema Khandu. And Governor is Brigadier B.D. Mishra. Remember, B.D. Mishra. And Pema Khandu is the Chief Minister. So guys, this is important for this. And moving to the next question. Which country with India, USA and Japan participated in the first phase of Malabar Naval Exercise 2020? Most important exercise of the year, guys, because recently one country added in this exercise, that is Malabar exercise. Because everyone knows that Malabar exercise will be conducted in India, USA, and Japan. But one country recently added, and that country is, guys, Australia. So remember, recently these three group or the tri group become the quad group. It means quadrilateral security group, and it consists of India, United States of America, Japan, and Australia. So it is the first time that Malabar naval exercise conducted between the four groups. And guys, remember, this time it is Australia. Mark under the most important. This question can be asked in the banking exam, and I am 90% sure that the question will come. You can see in the picture that first phase of Malabar naval exercise took place, and this time it is USA, India, Japan, and Australia. You can see this is the first phase of the 24th edition of the four nation naval exercise that is took place in the Bay of Bengal. You have to remember where it took place, that is in the Bay of Bengal. All the quad countries I already told you. And now one more important thing, that is for the first time in more than 10 years, exercise is witnessing the participation of the all four quad countries. It means earlier there was an exercise in which four countries participated, and Australia participated in 2007, and after 2007 it is the first time that Australia is participated in the Malabar exercise. So remember, this is very important, even most important exercise between the two countries. So remember, and you can also remember the other exercises, like one exercise is related to Indian Army, that is the Indra between India and Russia, guys. India and Russia. One is the nomadic elephant that is related to India and Mongolia. There are so many exercises. One question we will more cover related to the exercise today. Now moving to our next question, guys. Where is the headquarter of OPEC, that is Organization of the Petroleum Exporting Countries? OPEC is very important organization for you guys, and mark under the very important question. And this organization OPEC basically established in the 1960, and earlier in 1960 its headquarter was in Geneva. Earlier its headquarter in Geneva, it means the original headquarter was in Geneva, Switzerland. But after some time, after 4 years, you can say, in 1965, this headquarter was shifted to another place, and this place is the Austria, guys, and the capital of Austria is the Vienna. So that's why the headquarter shifted to the Vienna. So remember, currently the headquarter of OPEC is the that is the Vienna. And how many countries are member of the OPEC? There are 13 countries who are member of the OPEC. And who is the currently Secretary General of the OPEC? That is the Mohammed Barkindo. Remember, Mohammed Barkindo, Barkindo. Remember this if you can remember, but the most important is the headquarter of OPEC, that is in the Austria. Maximum people will mark the Geneva, Switzerland, but you have to mark the Austria, that is the Vienna. Exact place is the Vienna. And if you are a Affairs Cloud student, then it means you will correct this answer. Remember this, Austria, Vienna. Now, why OPEC is in news? That is very important because Dharmendra Pradhan, that is our petroleum minister, chaired 4th high-level meet of India and the OPEC energy dialogue. This is in the news. And the meeting is co-chaired by the Dharmendra Pradhan. All you know that Union Minister of Petroleum and the Natural Gas and Steel also. And guys, remember, it is just to discuss about the impact of COVID-19 pandemic on both the world economy and energy markets, including oil market. So this is the important. So you can see here, Secretariat hosted 4th high-level meeting between the OPEC and the India dialogue. The meeting is co-chaired by Dharmendra Pradhan. I already told you. The main discussion about the impact of COVID-19 pandemic on both the world economy and the energy markets, including oil market. Remember, this is the first meeting of the institutional dialogue since the start of the COVID-19 pandemic. So remember this. And Dharmendra Pradhan is currently member of the Rajya Sabha from Madhya Pradesh. Now we can move to the next question. Next question, Indian Army Chief General M.M. Narawan visited which country to strengthen overall ties, including in the areas of defense and security? Guys, mark under the important question because it was the 3-day visit to that country by our army chief, that is M.M. Narawane or M.M. Narawan. So guys, tell me what is the answer, and it is very important. Even mark under the most important question. I mark under the important question, but you can mark under the most important section because this time it is basically to strengthen the ties between the two countries in the army areas to tackle the China. So that is the main focus of this visit. And to tackle the China, so we can basically eliminate Sri Lanka. We can eliminate the Bangladesh. Now there are two options who is basically also sharing the boundary with the China, that is Bhutan and Nepal. So answer is the Nepal, guys. and it is not like that ki MM Narwane visited Nepal. It is basically MM Narwane was invited by the army chief of the Nepal. You can see in the picture also that Army Chief General MM Narwan 3-day visit to the Nepal. And you can see here he visited Nepal at the official invitation of Nepal Army Chief, that is the Purna Chandra Thapa. So remember this. This is important. It can be asked. Nepal Army Chief is Purna Chandra Thapa, PCT. You can remember by this also. Main aim to strengthen overall ties, including in the area of defense and security between India and Nepal. Even General MM Narwan was accompanied by his wife Veena Narwan, who is also the chairperson of the Army Wives Welfare Association of the Indian Army. So very important, guys. Remember this. India and Nepal recently Army Chief visited. And who is the Army Chief? I already told you, MM Narwan. So remember. And what is the full form of MM Narwan? That is the Major Mukund Narwan. This is also important. Now moving to next question. Which bank extended 2 loans to the Metropolitan Regional Development Authority for infrastructure projects in Mumbai? So it is basically for the Mumbai area. And which bank provided 2 type of loans for the development of the infrastructure projects of the Metropolitan Region Development Authority? It means the loan amount will be utilized on the metropolitan works, and this time it is a bank related to the Germany, and it is Frankfurt based state-owned development bank that is known as the KfW bank. So remember, it is the German bank, and name of this bank is the KfW bank, and it is Frankfurt, that is the in Germany, German bank, and they are providing loan to the Maharashtra state. So you can see in the picture also, German bank KfW extends 545 million euro funding to the infra projects in the Maharashtra, or you can say in the Mumbai, specifically Mumbai. The package consists of a development of loan of 345 million euros and promotion loan of 200 million euros if required. The approved loan amount is highest amount given to India. This is most important line. Highest amount given to India, including the lowest rate of interest offered by any financial institution so far. Like approximately 0.29% interest rate is there. It means it is very less, and tenure of the loan is 15 years to 20 years. Means the total 5-year time period is the grace time period. So remember, very much low interest rate, and time period is so much long, that is 15 years time period, and if they are not capable to return the money, then there is a 5-year grace time period also given, that is the time period is 15 to 20 years. The funds will be disbursed through an agreement with the Ministry of Finance, not the state government finance ministry. It is the Ministry of Finance, Government of India. So these are the 3 or 4 things you have to remember, but most important is the name of the bank. So you can remember by the KfW, that is the German bank. Now, next question, mark under the very important, who are preparing for the banking exam, that is most important question. Otherwise, overall, it is the important question, very important question. IFFCO Bazaar. Now, what is the IFFCO Bazaar? It is an e-commerce wing of the IFFCO, that is the Indian Farmers Fertilizer Cooperatives. It means on the IFFCO Bazaar application, you can directly sell your fertilizer for the organization of the Indian Farmer Fertilizer Cooperative products. That is very important. Has entered into a partnership with which bank app for quality agri products in India? So that is important. I already told you who are preparing for the banking exam, mark this question under the most important section. Otherwise, this question is the very important section. And why these 2 apps basically collaborated? It is just to boost the accessibility of quality agri products in India. Just to boost the accessibility of quality agri products in India. And on the app, you can purchase on the bank app and on the IFFCO Bazaar app, you can purchase basically these quality agri products, and in India also. It is to ensure a wide range of agriculture products are accessible to many Indian farmers. And this time it is the SBI YONO app. Remember, YONO's full form is the you only need one. And there are other mobile apps you can remember by the option that ICICI mobile app is the iMobile, HDFC is the Pays app, and Bank of Baroda is the M Connect Plus. So you can remember these 3 apps, that which banks these apps belongs to which bank. iMobile, ICICI, Pays app, HDFC, and M Connect Plus app basically belongs to Bank of Baroda. Now IFFCO Bazaar signs up with the SBI Zono, and the answer is, guys, A, SBI Zono. You can see here, now buy IFFCO Agri products on your Zono SBI. It means it is collaborated with the SBI Bank app. quality agri products can be sell through the SBI Zono app. Now, next question, who wrote a book titled as Your Best Day is Today? That is the most important book because the author is most famous person from the Bollywood industry, and you can remember by the name also. And I think you can remember because all the Bollywood news are remembered by the students. That is my experience, that it is very easy. So, but it is the most important book, guys. Tell me what is the answer, guys? And the answer is, guys, D option. That is the Anupam Kher. Remember, this time it is the Anupam Kher who wrote this book, Your Best Day is Today. And this book basically, or you can say, the specify the experiences of Anupam Kher during the COVID-19 pandemic, especially when his mother Dulari and the brother Raju Kher were tested for coronavirus pandemic. So remember, your best day is today. This can become in the banking exam. You can see here, Anupam Kher, your best day is today, and it is the cover page of the book. Now, he published the book titled The Best Things That You Is You in 2011. That is the another book, because this is the third book by the Anupam Kher. And his first book is The Best Things About You Is You. And second is the autobiography. This is the most important question here also. Lessons Life Taught Me Unknowingly, published in 2009. It means this line basically belongs to everyone. Lessons of life taught me unknowingly. It means you don't know that which lesson of the life will taught you. This is basically the meaning of this book. So remember this book also. Now move to next question. Which Indian diplomat elected to the United Nations Advisory Committee on Administrative and Budgetary Questions Committee? This is committee basically belongs to the United Nations. That's why you can mark this question under important section. Otherwise this committee is not so much important, but you can mark under the important section also, because it is related to the United Nations. And the answer is Vidisha Mehta. Remember the name of the lady, that is the Vidisha Mehta. And who is, guys, Priyanka Radhakrishnan? That is the first Indian origin MP elected in the New Zealand Parliament. So you have to remember who become the minister basically. That is the Priyanka Radhakrishnan. Remember this. And this time it is the Vidisha Mehta who elected to the United Nations Advisory Committee on Administrative and Budgetary Question Committee. So remember, this is the United Nations Committee. She was appointed to this committee for a period of 3 years. So you have to remember the time period is 3 years. India has been a member of this committee since the inception of 1946, when this committee formed in 1946 first time. This committee is a subsidiary of the General Assembly that consists of 16 members. It means the total members of this committee is 16. No need to remember. Now, these two things are very important, guys. Remember these 2 or 3 things, because after the lockdown, there were no such news about the United Nations. So you can remember these news. India, Norway, Ireland, Mexico, and Kenya. These 5 countries are elected as the non-permanent member of the United Nations Security Council for a 2-year term, beginning from 1st Jan 2021. Many students were asking me that when will be the time period starts. So I am covering this question now, that on the 1st Jan 2021, the time period of the 5 countries of the non-permanent members will start, because total 10 countries are non-permanent member. Out of 10, 5 countries are there: India, Norway, Ireland, Mexico, and Kenya. Now, how you can remember these 5 countries? There is a very good synonym we can basically make here. I am ink. Remember, I am. M, not AM, that is only M. Ink, INK. That is, I stands for India, M stands for the Mexico, again I stands for the that is the Ireland, N stands for the Norway, K stands for the Kenya. If you can remember directly, you can remember directly. That is very good thing. But if you want to eliminate the option, you can eliminate by this abbreviation. Were elected as a non-permanent member. Now, India will serve as a United Nations Security Council President for the month of August 2021, because the every non-permanent member has a opportunity to preside over the United Nations Security Council for a month, and India will preside. It means become the president for the month of the August 2021. So these are the 2 very important lines for United Nations. Remember this. And who become the member of this committee? That is the Vidisha Mehta. Remember. Move to next question, guys. It is the very most important appointment. Who is appointed as the Chief Commissioner, Chief Information Commissioner in the Central Information Commission? This is very important, guys. Who is appointed as the Chief Information Commissioner? And the answer is the Yashwardhan Kumar Sinha. So remember the name of the person, that is YK Sinha. Jashwardhan Kumar Sinha, and mark under the very important appointment, because this question can be asked in the banking exam, because so many appointments will be asked in the banking exam. That's why this is very important question. And this body of Chief Information Commissioner is created in 2005 after the Right to Information Act. That is the Chief Information Commission, which will provide the all the information which will be entertained through the right to information. And what is the composition of the Chief Information or the Central Information Commission? There will be one Chief Information Commission headed by the simple information commissioners, and these total information commissioners can be 10, and time period of this Chief Information Commission can be that is the 5 years, guys. It means one is the Chief Information Commissioner, 10 are the other information commissioners, and time period of information commissioner and Chief Information Commissioner is the 5 years. So remember this. And you can say the head of this committee or the head of this commission, that is the Chief Information Commissioner, is the Jashwardhan Kumar Sinha. You can see the picture of the Jashwardhan Kumar Sinha who take oath as a Chief Information Commissioner. Remember, these two other commissioners are also appointed, but there are 10, so no need to remember. That is the Uday Mahurkar and Hiralal Samaria, also elected as the information commissioners. And who is this Bimal Julka? He was the earlier Chief Information Commissioner. It means he was replaced by Jashwardhan Kumar Sinha. So mark under the very important appointment, guys. Move to next question. Which state government started Parivartanam scheme to improve the livelihood skills of the youngsters? Now remember the key word, that is the Parivartanam. And this state government who started this type of this scheme to improve the livelihood skills of the youngsters along the coastline and the improve their socio-economic condition of the fishers. It means this scheme is related to improve the fishery sector. Remember this keyword, that is for the fishery sector. And this time the state is Kerala, guys, because it is the coastal areas, because the fishery is most prevalent in the coastal areas. That's why the state will be from the coastal areas. And only two states here are from the coastal areas, that is only Kerala. Kerala is very important, guys, because there is a Silent Valley National Park in the Kerala. There is a Periyar National Park in Kerala. There is a Iravikulam National Park in Kerala. There is a peak, I already told you, that is the Anaimudi. Anaimudi also in the Kerala, and it is the highest peak on the Western Ghats. That is the Anaimudi. 2695 meter is the height of the Anaimudi. So remember, Kerala scheme name is the Parivartanam. For which purpose? For the fishery sector, to improve the livelihood skills of the youngsters who are basically involved in the fishery sector. You can see in the picture that Kerala launches scheme Parivartanam for better livelihood of the fisher folk. And who is this lady? This is the basically J. Amma. J. Amma. She is currently the Kerala's fisheries minister. Kerala fishery minister. But no need to remember the name, because it is important for only the Kerala students, not for you guys. Now, you can see here development of aquaculture Kerala to set up a multi-species fish hatchery at Odyam in Trivendrapuram district to increase brackish water fish production in Kerala. No need to remember all these things. Just remember they are setting up a aquaculture Kerala park, that is the multi-species fish hatchery in the Trivendrapuram. And main aim to improve the livelihood of the youngster, I already told you, for improving the condition of the fishers. And who is the Chief Minister of Kerala? That is the Pinarayi Vijayan. Capital is the Trivendrapuram, and governor is the Arif Muhammad Khan. Arif Muhammad Khan, that is the governor of Kerala. Now moving to next question. I already told you there is one question more related to the exercises. So now this time it is the Bangladesh, and which country launched joint naval exercise known as the Karat or the Karat Bangladesh 2020. It means it is very clear that one country is the Bangladesh, and what is the name of the another country? You have to tell me that. What is the name of other country? And what is the full form of this Karat? Karat stands for the Cooperation, Afloat, Readiness and Training. Remember, I am repeating again, Cooperation, Afloat, Readiness and Training. This is the basically meaning of the Karat Bangladesh 2020. And guys, the second country is the, yes guys, basically I included the exercises here, but I am asking in the question is the country. So I am telling you the country, that is the USA. Remember, the country name is the USA, that is Bangladesh and USA launched joint naval exercise, that is the Karat Bangladesh 2020. So remember, Karat exercise is between Bangladesh and USA, and Sampriti 9th is between the India and Bangladesh. India and Bangladesh. Yuddha Abhyas is basically India and USA. Again, remember. And Shakti is India and France. So remember all these exercises. Karat 2020 between Bangladesh and the USA. Sampriti 9 is India and Bangladesh. Yuddha Abhyas, that is India and USA. Shakti is between India and France. And mark under very important exercise. This, that is the Karat 2020, that is Bangladesh and USA. Now, next question, which state high court became the first high court in India to live stream its court proceedings on YouTube? You can basically search on the YouTube, that is the this state high court proceedings, and you can see the live proceedings on the YouTube channel. And it is most important question. It can be asked in the banking exams, guys. Most important question. And the state is Gujarat, guys. Remember, the state is Gujarat, and number of total high courts in India, 25, guys. And Maxim books explain this is 21. That is very old. Even lot of books says it is 24. That is again old, guys, because after the bifurcation of Andhra Pradesh and Telangana, the high courts become one more, and total high courts are 25. Remember this. And this time it is the state is Gujarat. Gujarat is very important. There is a Gir National Park, that is a lion reserve. There is a Nal Sarovar National Park is also in the Gujarat. Remember this also. Now, there is a day, or you can say the National Cancer Awareness Day, that is on the November 7, mark under the most important day, guys. This is the most important day, that is National Cancer Awareness Day. Nothing to learn in the this day, because it is very important, and all you know, that is it is just to create awareness about the prevention and early detection of the cancer among the general public. So this is the basically to create awareness only. The first cancer day is observed in 2014, and guys, mark under the most important day, that is the National Cancer Awareness Day on the 7th November 2020. And you know, the National Cancer Awareness Day on 7th November coincides with the birth anniversary of French Polish physicist and Nobel laureate Madame Marie Curie, and it is the first woman to win Nobel Prize in the peace. So remember this, Nobel Prize, woman to win Nobel Prize, not in peace basically. That is only woman to win a Nobel Prize, that in 1903. First woman to win Nobel Prize, that is the Marie Curie, and Marie Curie birthday is on the 7th of November. That's why the National Cancer Day is also observed on the 7th of November. You can relate these news so that you can remember for a long time period. And who is the Union Minister of Health? That is the Dr. Harshvardhan. Remember this day, National Cancer Awareness Day. Next news is the International Stress Awareness Week. Again, due to the COVID-19, maximum people are feeling the depression type, you can say the symptoms. But this is the International Stress Awareness Week. Remember this. And guys, this is the week basically related to the 2nd November to the 6th of November. And why this week is celebrated is just to raise awareness of the prevention of stress and to promote the importance of well-being of individuals and even the group of individuals, organizations. And this international week was established to focus on the stress management. Not so much important, but you can remember, if the examiner is rude, he can ask this type of the question in the form of the days or the weeks. International Stress Awareness Week from the 2nd to 6th November. So how you can remember this week? You can remember that Diwali maximally comes, Diwali, that festival also comes in the November or the October, and this time it is in November. So you can remember that due to this Diwali festival, we can create happiness. It means we can basically manage the stress, or stress management, that is the stress awareness. So you can remember by any mean. So this is the news. And guys, there are one-liner points which are not so much important, but you have to remember these. Now, first point is Hindustan IL, that is HIL stand for Hindustan Insecticide Limited, signs MOU with DCPC. Now, what is the meaning of DCPC? That is the Department of Chemicals and Petrochemicals. Remember, Department of Chemicals and Petrochemicals. HIL stand for Hindustan Insecticide Limited. MOU with DCPC to achieve revenue target of INR 451 crore. No need to read this news. Even this is not so much important. Just remember Ministry of Chemicals and Fertilizers. And this ministry belongs to the Sadanand Gowda. Sadanand Gowda. Remember this person name. That is currently the Union Minister of Chemical and Fertilizer. Now next is the India Nordic Baltic CII. That is the Confederation of Industries. conclave held virtually. Now there are two important things. One is the Nordic countries, one is the Baltic countries. This is important. Now, which countries are known as the Baltic countries? Basically, if you see the world map, you can see the northern eastern region of the Europe. Northern eastern region of the Europe, there is a Baltic Sea. You can see the in the image also, Baltic Sea. When you search in the Google, you can see this image. That is, here is the Baltic Sea. There are three countries basically, which in the northern eastern part of the Baltic Sea. These are known as the Baltic states. That is known as the in the above it is Estonia. In the middle it is Latvia, and in the south it is the Lithuania. So remember, these three countries are the member of the Baltic states. So there are three countries who are member of the Baltic states. And second is the Nordic countries. Nordic countries are the five countries. That is the Northern Europe basically. Northern Europe means I am talking about the Denmark, Norway and Sweden, Finland and Iceland. These are the Nordic countries. Denmark, Norway, Sweden, Finland and Iceland. These are the five countries basically the Nordic countries. So remember these basically acronyms, that is Nordic and the Baltic countries. Now next is the Narendra Modi and Italy's Giuseppe Conte co-chaired Virtual India Italy Summit. So no need to remember, it is the between India and Italy. So to tie up the strength or to strengthening the relation between India and Italy. So next is the fourth India Philippines Joint Commission on Bilateral Cooperation held. No need to remember, it is again between the India and Philippines. Next is the Indo-Africa Summit held. This is the first time that Indo-Africa Summit held, and this time it is co-chaired by the Union Minister Piyush Goyal ji. And next is the Interpol created two cybercrime related communication services. Now here is important is the Interpol. Now where is the headquarter of Interpol and who is representing India in the Interpol effects? So I am answering the first question, that Interpol headquarters is in the France, and there is a place in France, that is the Lyon, and in the Lyon, France, there is a headquarter of the Interpol. And who is representing or you can say who is the nodal agency of the Interpol in India? That is the CBI. CBI is a nodal agency in the Interpol for India. So remember this. The headquarters is in France, Lyon. So remember this. This is a difficult question, but you can ask this question if you are a Affairs Cloud student. That is a benefit to become a Affairs Cloud student. Thank you guys. This is all for today. I think you like this video. If you like this video, then subscribe this channel, and guys, provide 700 plus likes, because you guys are providing the 300 likes continuously. That's why we achieved this target. Now we are setting up a bigger target, that is the 700 plus YouTube likes, so that we can make more content on the different parts. So remember this. And guys, please press the bell button icon so that you can see the video very quickly. If we are publishing the video, then you can become the first to see the video. And it is Affairs Cloud promise that it will boost your confidence in the general awareness section, guys. And it is my personal promise that if you are watching these videos and if you are reading our current affairs PDF, then it means your current affairs section will go strong. And it is our promise that 90% of the general awareness question comes from the Affairs Cloud PDFs or the videos. So guys, remember, watch the video and read the PDF simultaneously. Thank you guys for watching this video again. Take care.